What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Ben Thomas Show. Thanks for coming back. Guys, I could not believe my eyes today when I opened my Facebook and saw Han Solo from Hot Toys is coming. Now, it's the Return of the Jedi version. I'd be curious to hear from you guys what you think of this release. I just got home, as I said. I'm sure there's lots of takes on it already. But I love Star Wars, I love Han Solo, and I want to talk about it. So guys, stick around. If you guys like the video, hit the like button, smash the subscribe if you're new to the Ben Thomas Show, and let's get into it.
I am Ben Thomas.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother.
Okay, everybody, so welcome back. So I finally got home from work today. I saw this pop up on my Facebook today, and I was super excited. I know there's been a lot of coverage on this already, but hey, you know what? I love Han Solo. I've loved Star Wars my entire life. And I gotta say, it was getting to the point with Hot Toys that I honestly didn't expect I'd ever get a chance to get a Han Solo in my collection unless I dialed backwards, right? Unless I paid those kind of crazy aftermarket prices. And I know a lot of us have, and that's fair because honestly, young Harrison Ford, Han Solo, badass character. But then Hot Toys drops this bad boy out of nowhere today, and I am stoked about it. Now, it's interesting because we had the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi recently, and we've got that awesome Vader coming our way, I think probably this year, maybe early next year, with the unmasked cowl of Vader, and I thought that was amazing. But we were a little disappointed because we thought we'd maybe see a few more characters in there. Han Solo, for me, was up there in terms of those characters, with the actor being Harrison Ford, that I thought we wouldn't see a likeness from again. It seemed like the rumor within the community for a long time was that we would just never get that. And boom, here he is. It reminds me of Jack Nicholson, even with his likeness for the Joker. I wonder if we'll eventually get that now. The other thing that I hope for with just seeing this is, of course, we do get a couple other versions of Han Solo at some point. Maybe the Empire Strikes Back. I've got a New Hope Luke in my collection. I'd love to have a New Hope Han in the collection, as well as his companion, Chewbacca, needs to be with Han, right? And because they didn't necessarily package this as a 2-pack like I know some of us had hoped for, I'm kind of okay with that. I like that we're getting the figures separately so people can decide whether they'd want that in their collection or not. The most recent Chewbacca we had seen, I know it was kind of criticized for looking like a dog. I never had it in my collection personally because it's something I missed on, but even still, Chewbacca would be pretty freaking sweet. So hopefully we don't get that version. Hopefully we get one that actually looks like Chewbacca from this movie. But the head sculpt here, I actually really like. Because of the rolling eye system, you can give him kind of that cheeky Harrison Ford look that he's got, which I like. The forehead wrinkles do seem a little extreme, but that could also be the lighting. I do think it at least gives him some character behind the eyes, without him having to have too dynamic of an expression. Again, you can see the cheekiness behind him, and I think that's really cool. Now, I haven't even had a chance to watch anybody else's take on this yet. For me, I like the jacket, but I don't love the jacket. I do think trench coats on figures can be really, really cool. For example, I've got one on my Bane, of course on my Nightmare Batman, and of course even on my Neo. Like, I think trench coats can look cool. And this does look a lot like the one from the film. I do like some of the weathering that you see on it. I don't know if I would display it that way. I guess maybe it's not necessarily a criticism of the coat as much as it is that I'd rather have the display with him without it, which at least you can do, and I like that they included it. This does feel a little bit light on the accessories. I will say, like, the base is really cool. I think that could go with other figures, which I think is really nice. I like when they give us kind of the diorama feel to it. What else does it got? I like the gun, of course, very iconic to Han Solo. Belt and holster, I wonder how that will hold together. If it's not leather, if it's pleather, I would be worried about longevity. This is more of the look that I'd definitely display with this figure. I think this is the look that I like the most, especially from Return of the Jedi, but even just like the vest, it feels a little more iconic to me for Han Solo. Now, the hair definitely has a little volume to it. I do kind of dig it. I feel like it's relatively iconic to a lot of what I remember being accurate to Return of the Jedi. it does look a little thick, but on the side angles, I actually think it's better. You can see from some of these photos, this guy had some volume in his hair at this point. It looked different than it did in Empire, and it definitely looked different than it did in A New Hope. Of course, he was older, that makes sense. Some of the photos, definitely a level of thickness, almost a little even thinning maybe in the front, which maybe will be the complaint for people. I think it would have been cool to maybe have either different hair sculpts or this be a contender for artisan, but it's not to say that it won't be, right? Maybe this will be the lower cost option of Han, and we'll get a rooted hair version at some point as well. It's possible. I would lean still towards the hair sculpt, I think, even if there was a rooted version. Mostly because I want to save the coin for other figures, and I think that the hair is at least passable. Is it perfect? I don't think so. Now, I do think the material on the outfit, the tailoring, all looks really, really strong. I like the vein work in his hand sculpts. I think the paint job looks really, really good. Again, even though I'm a little critical of his deep forehead wrinkles, they were definitely starting to show on the actor by this point in his life. So, you know, obviously, they're trying to make it as realistic as possible, I think. I wish they'd given us maybe a couple more accessories here with this. You know, even like the bomb that he throws into the stormtrooper unit, right? Like that could be cool. Otherwise, I think it is pretty reasonable for sure. I will be picking this up myself because, again, I've been looking forward to a Han Solo for a long time. I was worried that if I didn't pay those big bucks, I'd never get them in a collection, and I've been kind of working on getting the rest of them, so I felt disappointed by that concept, and I'm glad that's no longer the case. But I think the Harrison Ford likeness has been pretty strong even in the past options. So that's one of the reasons I'd considered actually going backwards. Now, one other thing that I'm hoping for, now that we're seeing a Harrison Ford likeness, and I'm sure you guys are thinking the exact same thing. Let's get an Indiana Jones, maybe a Deckard from Blade Runner. Guys, I'd love to hear from you. Are you guys picking this figure up? Yes, no, why not? Do you already have a Han Solo in your collection, or were you one of those folks who, like me, almost bought backwards or did buy backwards? I'd be curious to hear from you guys to see what you think on this figure. But guys, if you liked the video, hit the like button, smash the subscribe if you're new to the Ben Thomas Show, and I'll catch you guys on the next figure preview. Thanks for watching, everybody.
I'll be back.